Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network.
Life doesn't get much better than this. Center stage at the Queen's Hotel, fresh off the presses, Fringe-tastic 2013 program, and sharing the stage with some amazing talent, except she's kind of pissed off. On today's show, the Isle of the Arts prepares for their theater festival, local success in breeding bees, and touring craft breweries. That and more in the next 30 minutes. This is Miss Vicki Smudge. You are watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. Thank you, darling. She's fixing my hair and other things. One of the shows at the 2013 Fringe-tastic Fringe Festival is Miss Vicki Revealed. It's a very daring expose, tell-all story about the person, the man behind this fabulous queen. We're going to talk about Miss Vicki Revealed later on this edition of Go Island, as well as the rest of the Fringe-tastic lineup. But first, we're heading over to Gabriola Island. They're gearing up for their annual theater festival. How's it going? Is it all right? Oh, good. The 5th annual Gabriola Theater Festival runs on August 16th, 17th, and 18th, and you know it's going to be good. They are known as the Isle of the Arts, as Jocelyn mentioned in that story. You can get full details at artsgabriola.ca. You are watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. This is Chelsea Damon. She is the producer of Fringe-tastic 2013 and Nanaimo's Fringe Festival coming on the 6th, no, what's the first day? The 13th.
August 13th is our preview show.
August 13th is a preview show. How many shows are there altogether, and what's in the lineup?
There's 50 shows and some extras as well. Our After Hours Club is going to have free entertainment every night, so 8 till 8. Go see some shows and then come join us after.
Okay.
Chat with the artists and the organizers and other audience members, write your reviews on our wall, and just have a good time and enjoy some bands.
It is a lot of fun. I managed to see every show last year, and one of the shows this year is Miss Vicki Revealed, written by Rick Myers and Dean Chadwick. We're going to have a conversation with Miss Vicki Smudge later in this edition of Go Island. Those guys are from Nanaimo. The rest of the productions, and there are 8 in total, come from outside of the island.
Well,
or
there's
outside of Nanaimo.
Salt Spring Island, Gibsons, Victoria. We've got a show from the Yukon. We have one from England.
Wow. Now, for those who don't know, what is Fringe? Besides really entertaining, wacky, and unique theater.
Fringe is a style of festival, but it's also a circuit. So artists from around the world come to Canada and travel across the country, going from fringe to fringe. And it's designed so that anybody can get in. There's no bias or censorship. Anybody who's interested in getting on stage can apply to our lottery.
Okay.
And
so it's not juried in that sense.
It's not
a luck
juried.
of the draw, literally.
We don't know what we're going to get. It's really exciting, and there's something for everybody. We've got a kids show this year. We've got a wide variety of genres and styles.
Okay, and I know the Crimson Coast Dance Society is also extending their Infringing Dance Festival as part of Fringe-tastic as well.
We've created a partnership with them this year so that our festivals can work together. And it's great when the arts communities start to, get involved in each other. So they're going to be presenting 2 of their shows at our festival, and they're also offering 2 workshops, free or by donation, at our After Hours Club.
Okay, now we're giving you just little bits of information because all the details can be found on the website fringetastic.com.
Yes.
Okay, you never know if it's the CA or com. Fringetastic.com. It's interactive. I mean, you go to a Fringe show, you see the people on stage, the performers, and then you see them in the Fringe Club. And you get to talk to them and provide direct feedback, and they love it.
It wouldn't be Fringe without that. The life force of a Fringe is really the community that gathers around it and gets engaged in it.
Okay, now I didn't warn you that I was gonna do this. I was in the audience with you at some shows last year, and you're crying. Is that you? You almost every theater show I've ever seen you at, you're so moved by it.
Oh yeah, I really just get absorbed in the experience, and I feel the emotions that the performer's conveying, and I really love the Fringe style of show where there's not a lot of costumes, not a lot of staging. Sometimes it's only one person. The focus is on the story and the act of storytelling, the art of presenting a piece, and I can get totally absorbed in a person standing on a black stage telling me a story. And for me personally, I tend to just cry.
A release, thank you.
Even when it's funny.
Even when it's funny. Fringe is an amazing experience. It's very brave, it's very daring. You can see that the performers have put their heart and soul into what they are delivering the audience on stage. It's often a launching pad for productions to go on to bigger audiences, bigger cities, and parts of other theater circuits. And that is the hope for Miss Vicky Revealed that we're going to talk about a bit later on this edition of Go Island with Miss Vicky Smudge herself. But first, we are changing directions entirely. There is success in reproduction of bees on Vancouver Island. Here is Kelly Robinson. Still to come today on Go Island, skimboarding in Parksville, moving a church in Courtenay, and a big summer experience at a mainland brewery. That and more still to come today on Go.
I am a drag queen. Now, I don't want you to get drag queen confused with female impersonator. I do not impersonate a female. I mean, really, how many females do you know that wear 7-inch heels, 4-foot wigs, and skin-tight dresses, and a girdle that wouldn't fit a 6-year-old child? No, I do not dress like a woman. I dress like a drag queen.
And this is Vicky Smudge. If you spent any time in Nanaimo, you probably know the lovely and talented Miss Vicky. What is the show that you're putting in the Fringe, Miss Vicky Reveals?
It's Miss Vicky Reveals. It's the story of what's behind all of this stuff. I've been working with Dean Chadwick, who's directed me in Rocky Horror, and he runs Smoosh Productions. And over the years, he's been listening to me tell stories about my life and growing up in Nanaimo back in the 70s, and it was Harewood. Kate, not the University District. It was Harewood. And so over that time, Dean has sort of put together those stories and made it into like a 60-minute tell-all about me and the person I've become.
I think we'll talk a little bit later on this edition of Go Island about how brave and how much courage it must take from you, because I know that your story isn't a fun one. Yet on stage, Miss Vicky is this flamboyant, fun person. Talk to me about the person that we see and the person that we're going to learn about through the development of the show.
Well, I mean, remember, I was a young boy growing up in Harewood, and a lot of people ask me, Vicky, how do you wear those shoes? Kate, when you're a boy growing up in Harewood, you got to learn to run very fast in these shoes.
In those shoes. Smudge. I
Yes.
know what the name Smudge is all about. What for those who don't know?
Smudge is, when I created Vicky Smudge, and I quickly created my sister Connie Smudge right afterwards, the whole idea of Smudge was to smudge the lines. Not boy, not girl, not man, not woman. I mean, I dress like this, but there's no way I can hide my beer gut or my hairy armpits. But the hairy armpits are here so that girls coming from Gabriola Island can feel welcome too.
I'm gonna check my own. I didn't warn about this. Were you over in Vancouver for Pride recently?
No.
It is Pride Week.
I was not in Vancouver Pride. I was in Victoria Pride. I had surgery last week. I had a hernia, so they cut open my stomach, much like a C-section must have been, but I don't know. There was no child.
The
So
child is this production.
I've been
called
laid
Miss
up.
Vicky Revealed.
The girdle helps.
I think I'm gonna have to borrow that girdle and the shoes and some other style tips from Miss Vicky Smudge. We're gonna talk more about the darker side of this fabulous person later on this edition of Go Island. In the meantime, we're gonna lighten it up and go skimboarding, paddleboarding, one of those kind of boardings in Parksville with Rayanne LaPlante. I'm going to try that one day. You are watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. We're having a look at the Fringe-tastic 2013 program, 8 different productions, 50 different performances, 2 or 3 different venues. You can get all the details at fringetastic.com. We're going to head up island now to the Comox Valley. The moving of a church is no easy undertaking. Have you ever been to church? You spent much time in church?
Come see the show.
Come see the show. You can get show times on the Fringe-tastic website. The moving of a church, as I was saying, is no easy undertaking, but they did it very well in Courtenay several years ago. Here's Judy. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. This is Miss Vicky Smudge, also known as Rick Myers. Gorgeous, flamboyant, talented, fun, high energy, lots of laughs on stage. But like is tragically true for so many drag queens, the story that got you here is not a fun or pretty one. And that's what's going to come out in your production. And that's scary, to be so personal in your hometown.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, as Vicky Smudge, I can go and do anything I want to. I can walk down Commercial Street and feeling proud. In fact, I drove here with my top down on my Jeep. And, and I get cheers and stuff. But it hasn't always been that way. I mean, like I said earlier, I did grow up here in Harewood. And there was a time when it was harsh. People, I never understood this, why people would take the time to roll down their window and yell faggot at me. Like, why aren't you looking at the girls? Like, why am I such an attraction? Anyway, I lived here. I moved away. I moved to the gay ghetto in Vancouver. And after years in Vancouver, I was wondering why I'm there. This is my home. I love the island. I really do. I love this island. I mean, I have 5 acres on the Nanaimo River. It doesn't get much better. I'm really hot, Kate. Sorry about this.
Okay.
I'm
glad you did that.
Well, you have no idea how glad I am that I did it. So growing up then, like in the 70s, was very different than it is now. I mean, I think that people have become way more tolerable. I think that people that might even been mean to me when I was a kid, it wasn't because they wanted to be mean. I honestly think sometimes they just didn't know any better. I think now that we've come a long ways, and I'm allowed to do crazy things like this and be part of the Fringe and tell my story.
Are you scared of telling your story?
Yeah, I mean, most of the times that I've done plays in Ladies and stuff, I tell somebody else's story, whether it's Arnold Beckoff or whoever's story it is I'm telling. This time I'm telling my story, and so that part's really heavy. How I'm going to feel about that, I don't think I have a clue yet. I mean, when I've read the script and when Dean and I have worked the script, there's moments where there's a lot of emotion coming up. But once you're on stage and you let go of everything else you got, and all you are is that character, which happens to be me on stage, I don't know. Will I break down?
And I think your story is unique, but also similar to other people who are gay and have gone through all of that. It's a common story.
It's a common story, and I don't think that sometimes it's not necessarily gay. Kate, I think that sometimes my upbringing is not a lot different than the awkward girl. Girls, the enemy, the guy that seemed to pick on girls and make girls feel terrible, the same guy that would rape a girl, it's that same mean bully guy.
Right.
He's the same one that's going to pick on me. So I think that's why probably a lot of my the people that come to my shows tend to be women. I think it's because they identify, they know how I feel. And I bet you just love to take this hair off and feel how great this breeze.
I'm mesmerized by your sparkles on your eyes. Why do it? We're going over time, so very quickly, why is it important for you to get up and make do this sharing with an audience that might not be easy to do?
Well, I mean, I've always thought about sharing this idea, and I don't think I really thought about taking it far until Dean approached me. And I think I asked him why. Like, why? And he said, maybe because he's a school teacher, he said, Rick, your story can help people. And if you only help one person by telling your story, you've done a really good job. So I'll take it from my buddy Dean and follow through on it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I wish we
Thank
had
you.
more time. As always, fringetastic.com for all the showtimes and venues. We're going to throw things over now to the mainland. Johanna Ward hanging out with a self-proclaimed beer geek. I think I want to go. Brings us to the end of this edition of Go Island. Thank you to Dean Chadwick and Miss Vicky Smudge. Their upcoming production is one of 8 in the Fringetastic lineup this year. Runs August 13th to the 25th, fringetastic.com. Thanks for watching this edition of Go Island. We'll see you at the Fringe.
Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network. Clothing supplied by Catwalk Fashions. Kate's hair and aesthetics provided by Matteo Salon.